I've heard a man say, let me see what you look like with no makeup. Let me see what you look like without the hair. I feel that that man is telling you that he does not have the money to finance your beauty upkeep.
If you're ugly, just say that.
Do you all remember the DoorDasher who falsely accused a customer of SA? Well, she has been arrested. We've got a video for you here today from the Modern King. Don't forget to like and subscribe on your way in, and let's get into it.
Now have the guy's side of the story after Olivia Henderson, aka DoorDash Girl, was arrested for recording him naked in his own home. This is the original police report where the officer says, on the above date, time, and location, I responded to a public lewdness complaint. Upon arrival, I spoke with Olivia Henderson, who stated that she was DoorDashing last night at 136 Blank Street, and when she arrived at the address to deliver a Wendy's pickup, the male who ordered had his front door wide open and he was sleeping on the couch with no pants on.
So she's leaving out the part where she walked into this man's home uninvited, grabbed her phone, recorded this man while he was asleep, posted it onto social media for clout, then immediately reported him to DoorDash and the police for SA.
Olivia stated that she left the food on the front porch and left. She advised me that she called because she did not want this to happen again to another female delivery driver. I then responded to 136 Blank and spoke with Austin Blank, who stated that he had gone out last night to the bars. He stated that he woke up and realized that his front door was open and saw the photo Olivia left of the food being delivered and his door open with him laying inside. Austin stated that he thought he had his shorts on in the photo and did not realize that he was actually naked. Austin stated several times that this is not normal for him and he was sorry that it happened. I advised him that this time that there is no charges. However, if it becomes a recurring issue, he could potentially get charged.
I'm sure a lot of people have nights that go a little too crazy, but at the same time, it's best to just be in the habit of making sure your home is secured before taking off your pants, regardless of whether or not you're intoxicated.
He stated that he understood and that it would not happen again. At this time, there are no applicable charges due to a lack of intent and because Austin was within his own home with no view to the public, aside from Olivia being on his private property to make the delivery. Let me know what you guys think about this. And
Olivia Henderson, aka DoorDash Girl, was arrested today and charged with 2 felony charges. And honestly, I'm not surprised by this. You cannot record somebody naked in their own home and then post it online for other people to see.
What makes this worse is that she also tried to falsely accuse this guy of SA even though he was passed out on his own couch. She honestly thought that she was the victim in this situation, even though she was clearly the one in the wrong here.
And on top of that, she was profiting off the videos that she posted. And for all the people that were saying the only reason she recorded it is so that she can have evidence, that made no sense. It made no sense because she posted the videos online. Maybe if she recorded it and sent it to the authorities, that might have helped her out. But once she posted that man's body parts on the internet, as well as his full name and his address, she messed up.
He doxed a drunk dude while he was sleeping and then tried to say that it was assault. This woman knew exactly what she was doing and she was trying to humiliate this guy for clout, and it's disturbing how she tried to spin it like the dude who was sleeping was somehow the monster.
You're gonna face some consequences, and in this case, you're going to prison. She has 2 severe charges she was discharged with, 1 being unlawful surveillance, which recording a guy in his own home will do that, and then 2, posting the unlawful surveillance onto the internet, which she did. And then afterwards, after she posted it, she got fired, and then went on the internet and was like, I'm the victim, I got essayed, which clearly didn't happen. And I think it's very ironic that she was trying to get justice for herself and send the guy to prison for SA, and she's the victim. Well, how the tables have turned. You are going to jail now, and your digital footprint is permanently, because this is going to be permanently on your record, Olivia. Oh no. I'm so thankful that the county jail actually took action and found her and, collected all the evidence, started a case. The dude started a case against her. So thank you that justice has been served and this didn't get swept under the rug and, it was just another internet theory that nothing ever happened and she lived on with her life.
It's good to see when a modern woman is forced to take accountability. Hopefully, she'll get something more than just a slap on the wrist for what she did to this guy. Modern women can't keep getting away with crap like this just because they're women.
Is that it's actually women who ruined modern romance, not men. So I know some girls will disagree with me and say that I'm not being a girl's girl, but this is just my opinion based off of my observations. But I honestly feel like a lot of girls these days don't understand what it takes to be in a long-term and a meaningful and genuine relationship. And I think like this issue mainly came from social media, especially TikTok, because I see these type of girls on TikTok all the time, and it's always my friends who are addicted to social media who think this way. When they get asked like, oh, what do you bring to the table? They say, what do you mean, what do I bring to the table? I'm just a girl.
The "I'm just a girl" argument makes no sense. If a man is going to let a woman into his life, then she has to bring with her something more than just being a girl, and that usually comes in the form of peace, friendliness, or support. And if you're just a girl, that means that you can't bring that.
And these girls would say, oh, I deserve all this princess treatment, da da da. Which, yes, you deserve princess treatment. But that doesn't mean you should not be doing anything for him. A princess has duties and responsibilities as well. And it just kind of annoys me when these girls would leave their man just because he got laid off, or get mad at him because he didn't get her like the designer purse that she wanted. Because I'm just like, you're setting such a bad example for other girls and other people, because not all girls are like that. Not all girls, you know, take things for granted.
The problem with this supposed princess treatment is that it involves a guy sacrificing everything for a woman who isn't willing to do a damn thing, when historically speaking, a princess's life was controlled by the men around her and she got virtually zero say in anything.
And like, if their man does something for them, they just say, well, of course, this is the bare minimum. And I'm like, even if something is the bare minimum, you should still, you know, say thank you. And it just like pisses me off when people think they're so entitled to everything that their man does for them. Like, the least you can do is be grateful and express that. You should probably do something in return. I'm not saying like treat it as like a transaction, but I'm saying like if he treats you well, you need to treat him well too. And I literally have friends who just call their man their wallet, and it just kind of, I don't know, it's just very dehumanizing.
Modern women dehumanize men in general. A lot of them refuse to see men as people, and a lot of them, in their eyes, men were put on this earth to serve them for no other reason outside of the fact that they're women. They refuse to understand that men do not like being treated that way.
It's kind of made me really sad recently because my boyfriend is a athlete, and he got hurt, or he injured his foot, so he had surgery. And a few days after, he told me that he was actually really scared that I would leave him when he told me that he got injured, because having an injury, you know, means he can't play, and it means like less money. So he's gonna make less money than he did last year, and he just, you know, was really scared that I was gonna leave him when I found out. And it just made me sad because my man shouldn't have to think like that. Like, he shouldn't have to think that I'm just gonna leave him when things get rough.
Nobody can blame her boyfriend for thinking that way, considering we have countless examples of modern wives leaving their husbands after they get these awful diagnoses. You can't put it past a man for feeling nervous his woman's going to leave him once he starts making less money.
And I know it's not something that I did that made him think that. I just know it's because of like social media. And yeah, that kind of hit a little bit too close to home. And it just like made me think back on all the times like where I've had these types of conversations with other girls, and I'm just like, girl, you're delusional. You sound like a child, literally. But yeah, that's my hot take. Everyone treat their man, treat their woman well, and happily ever after.
It shouldn't be a hot take for a woman to go online and tell other women to treat their men well. For all of this talk of women shaming men for not doing the bare minimum, you would think that treating your man with respect and dignity would be part of the bare minimum, but of course it rarely is.
I just feel like everybody's a girl's girl until they're not, like you. Like, you're probably, would you describe yourself as a girl's girl?
Yeah, I was getting there.
Okay, so yes, you are. Okay, so you're a girl's girl, yet you will take money from other wives' husbands just to pay your own bills, and you were kind of like, well, that's their fault for paying for. So there's this like double standard where we're like, oh yeah, we're girls until it just like no longer benefits us, until we can weaponize it against each other, against men.
A lot of modern women love to use crap like that as a convenient argument whenever it suits them. They feel like they can change the rules whenever it suits to maximize whatever benefit they can. That's why you can't be a girl's girl and sell OF at the same time.
Then what about women like me who've been a breadwinner in every single relationship, and I prefer to pay for myself?
Yeah, but what's your point?
Yeah, you can't just generalize all women like that.
Please be specific.
You just did.
No, I used a very specific
modern feminist.
I used a specific example for you, which was claiming you're a girl's girl, yet knowingly taking money and taking husbands away from wives wives because they're paying you. And I got villainized and demonized for just being honest. You're checked out because I'm calling you on something that you don't like. So you'll be abrasive. You'll be like, this is my opinion. But then the moment somebody challenges that, you're like,
no,
that's feminism. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.
Women like this refuse to be wrong when it comes to anything. That's why it's impossible to have a rational discussion with them. And the second someone points out how wrong they are, they get extremely combative, as if that's supposed to prove their point.
Do you know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people? What people other than mothers are pregnant?
It's interesting because you come into this conversation, trying to hold this moral superiority. But when I use inclusive language, which it only takes a couple extra syllables to use inclusive language,
to include
and
who?
It seems to include people who don't identify as women but can become pregnant.
So you're telling me that in order to be a moral person, I need to accept the idea that a man can really become a woman. That's a prerequisite of my being a moral person.
You have to appreciate the idea of a modern woman who thinks that basic virtues of morality are linked to evil concepts like the patriarchy, are also allowed to lecture other people about the virtues of morality when they lack those very same morals themselves.
I mean, yes.
I would like to identify, I do identify actually, as the correct person on this issue.
That's not your identity.
That is I promise you, that's my identity.
There are few people who have more skills in playing the reverse Uno card on somebody in a debate than Michael Knowles. It reminds me of a quote from George Orwell, who wrote 1984, and he said, "The further a society drifts from the truth, the more it hates those who speak it."
It's strange to see how quick a lot of these people are to anger when they are confronted with the truth. We see it all the time in videos and comment sections from these morally righteous supposed people who throw threats and insults at anybody who disagrees with them. But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Click this video that's up on the screen now if you want to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.